Hey everyone, it's me. I wanted to give a suggestion. A lot of people would say this might be a morbid suggestion, and it's not meant to be morbid. It's meant to allow people the opportunity to grieve, process loss, and finally put to rest someone that is no longer a part of their lives. And it might apply to it might apply to a marriage that has no longer in existence, parent that is disconnected, a child that is disconnected. But I thought about this the other day, and I thought, well, when someone breaks free and decides to cut contact and no longer has a desire to continue a relationship, and I think for me, I'm speaking regarding estranged children. I have two daughters that, have disconnected and moved on in life, and I have to believe I've done a good enough job and that they're surviving and hopefully thriving out there in the world and have peace and have chosen to forgive me and so on and so forth. But I want to say what I thought I had the other day, because it's been so many years for me, is that I think for me, and I have not yet done this, but I think it's important to find closure in order to survive this situation. I think it's important to find closure and to put it to rest. And that is by having an emotional and mental and sometimes physical funeral for the person who is no longer in existence in our lives. And I'm not saying to curse them or to damn them or hope they go to HE double hockey sticks, but in order to get closure. When my dad passed away, we had a funeral for him and we had to plan, to put him to rest. And I think it's important in my situation and the situations of other estranged parents to finally have a funeral for the relationship that is no longer in existence, and to find a way to send them out into whether it's a higher power or a greater being, etc., but to release our grip on the what was and put to rest not the dreams and hopes we have, but anything regarding that person, to finally release them and allow them to live the life they choose, even if it's not with us. I know that's really, like I said, I don't want to sound morbid and I don't want to sound heartless, but I think without closure and without acceptance, we can become tortured in our own thoughts and feelings and desires and needs and wants, despite what the other person has chosen to do. I've read so many parents who have lived for their kids. Their kids are gone. They're desperate for answers. They can't go on. They want to end their own lives. And I think of parents that have lost a child, how I can understand where you just don't want to go on. But somehow, in some way, each person has their own source of strength that allows them to continue to get up. Even if you get up and you don't feel like you can, I think it's, for me, to have a funeral and to put that person and to lay them to rest and release my grip and allow me rest as well. This is not just to put them to rest and give them to a greater being, but also to allow myself to the release and finally the outflowing of the emotion, the mental, the physical, everything that you've invested into that person. I'm not trying to say that when you put someone to rest and there's a funeral and they're still physically present and you have a quote unquote emotional and mental funeral, I'm just saying that I think it's important we remember that life is too short. I cannot allow one other or two other people to control the rest of my life and to steal the rest of my joy, which I am granted and allowed to have. I'm just saying it is important to think about in terms of survival. And sometimes people pass away suddenly, and what do? We have to get back up, and we have to accept the situation. We can either accept it, deal with it, and go through the 5 stages of grief, or sometimes people end up using drugs, alcohol, and trying to numb in however way they can, in whichever way they can. Sorry about that. I'm trying to use proper verbiage and wording, and I try to in each one of my videos, but to finally have a funeral and put the relationship to rest. And then after you do that and you go through your 5 stages of grief and you learn how to cope effectively and in a healthy way, I think then you will start to find your joy in life again. And just know that, unfortunately, the people we love, and we are on this earth for only a short amount of time. So whatever you can do to make it the best life possible, and to not allow anyone the opportunity to steal your joy for the rest of your life or for longer than necessary. I think it might possibly be a good resolution for some. Might not be for all, but for some. I hope this, is helpful. I haven't done it yet myself. I have a fire pit in my backyard, so what I can do is write a letter to each one of my daughters and release them and put them to rest, and then put it in the fireplace, and then have a little ceremony and burn the letters and watch, the smoke go up into the heavens, and that'll give me a much better opportunity to release them as well. So anyways, that's what I thought about today. I hope this helps someone, and I hope you're having a good day. Bye-bye.